Hey, brother! Seamus Gorman, what's up, man?
The Tri-Wizard Tournament. That is what is up.
You mean like the worst spectator sport in the world? Where
Yes.
people get to stare at water in the edge of a maze?
That's the one.
Seamus, I was excited to have you here, man. Why are we talking about the tournament?
Well, have you noticed that in Fantastic Beasts 2, there are going to be key people from each of the schools involved in the tournament?
Well, I mean, I know we'll have Dumbledore, of course, who is from Hogwarts.
Yes, we also know that Grindelwald went to Durmstrang, though, you know, before he got kicked out, because Crumb says so in the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, but Seamus, it's Tri-Wizard Tournament, as in try, as in three, as in where are Beauxbaton?
I am so glad you asked, because it's recently been revealed that another famous wizard will be in Fantastic Beasts 2, as in Nicolas Flamel. Hashtag called it, click the card. And we know that he went to Beauxbatons, according to Pottermore.
Oh my gosh, you're right. So does this mean when you said Tri-Wizard Tournament, you didn't mean... But we could see another? Hey, brother! Okay, so like every great video, let's start with the math.
Maths.
You are so British. Now, we know that the first ever Tri-Wizard Tournament took place in 1292, and that they would take place every 5 years, and that the tournament came to an end after the death of a student.
American maths requires way fewer numbers than British maths.
Math. And I'm getting there. The other thing that we know about the tournament is that Beauxbaton and Hogwarts have a particularly fierce rivalry, with Hogwarts winning 63 tournaments and Beauxbaton winning 62.
Well, we can subtract 1 from that, I'm assuming, because it's probably including Harry and Cedric's win in 1994, which means they're drawing with 62-62.
Drawing? More like battling dragons. This isn't art class. Tied at 62.
Okay, so if it occurs every 5 years, and there have been 124 competitions, 5 times 124 is 620. The first competition was held in 1292, so 1292 plus 620 equals 1912.
That is actually so much more recent than they make it out to be, but unfortunately that's still like 14 years before Fantastic Beasts takes place.
But this is if Durmstrang have like never won ever.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. Like, how could they have never won? Why would they continue to invite them? They'd be like the Hufflepuffs of this tournament.
Nice scarf.
Hey, I'm cold. But anyway, you make a really good point though. Even if Durmstrang had only won a few tournaments, it would be more than enough for the tournament to still be happening in 1927, where Fantastic Beasts 2 is supposed to be set. So we could easily see a tournament in the next film.
That would also make so much more sense, considering how everyone at Hogwarts reacts in the Goblet of Fire when they announce they're bringing the tournament back.
Oh my gosh, so true. It has always bothered me. Like, how would you be excited or even remotely familiar with an event that hasn't been held in 200 years?
Like, could you imagine if they decided to bring distance plunging back to the Olympics?
Are they? Do you think Parrington's record of 86 feet will be broken?
No way! That guy is a legend!
Raise your hand if you think distance plunging has something to do with a plunger, or really anything other than a swimming sport that specifically involves not moving your extremities at all.
Our point is that this sport went extinct in the last century, and presumably none of you know what it is.
And it doesn't even involve a plunger.
And more importantly, since the next Fantastic Beasts films is set in 1927 in Paris, it's the perfect setup for there to be a Tri-Wizard tournament at Beauxbaton.
But what really got us on this topic is just last week, Fantastic Beasts released a picture heavily alluding to the role that Nicolas Flamel is going to have in the upcoming film.
Exactly. We were able to track down which school he goes to relatively quickly, which is why we were able to come up with the idea with the Tri-Wizard tournament, but I found a way cooler connection.
Even cooler than bringing back distance plunging?
Way cooler, because obviously Flamel was famous for more than just going to Beauxbaton.
I mean, obviously, he invented the Sorcerer's Stone.
Philosopher's Stone.
Potato, potato.
Nobody says potato.
Either way, one of the crazy things about Flamel, other than the Sorcerer's Stone, is his relationship with Albus Dumbledore.
So true. On Dumbledore's Chocolate Frog card, they list one of his key accolades being that he worked with Nicolas Flamel on alchemy, which is a big deal considering he's like the greatest sorcerer in the world who defeated Grindelwald, and one of the key attributes is the fact that he worked with Nicolas Flamel.
Right, like, how impressive must Flamel be that this is one of his key traits?
What if Dumbledore helped create the Philosopher's Stone? That would be a big deal.
Okay, first off, Sorcerer's Stone, and I don't think Dumbledore had anything to do with the creation of the stone because at the time of Dumbledore's birth, Flamel would already be 554 years old.
Good maths.
Math. But the point is, clearly Flamel was already using the Sorcerer's Stone to create the elixir of life by the time Dumbledore was born. So what on earth could they have done together in the field of alchemy that was so impressive?
Okay, but here's the thing. These films are first and foremost about Newt and Fantastic Beasts. So what does Dumbledore, Newt, Nicolas Flamel, and Fantastic Beasts all have in common?
They were all distance plungers?
Dumbledore does do a perfect breaststroke, but no, I was thinking more about Fawkes.
Well, I mean, I can totally see where Newt would be fascinated with Fawkes and how Fawkes connects to Dumbledore, but what does that have to do with Flamel?
Well, describe the Philosopher's Stone.
I would be happy to describe the Sorcerer's Stone. It is a scarlet-colored stone that produces the elixir of life and turns metal to gold.
Now describe Fawkes.
Fawkes! Easy. Scarlet bird with golden feathers, has healing tears, can carry immensely heavy loads, and is essentially immortal.
Don't you think they're awfully similar?
I mean, yes, it's almost to the tune of a phoenix almost being a living embodiment of the properties of the Sorcerer's Stone. And I dare say that the inclusion of Nicolas Flamel, Albus Dumbledore, in a movie about Fantastic Beasts, to me, all but confirms that the phoenix is somehow involved with the creation of the stone.
We may even see Dumbledore come to train and domesticate Fawkes, which makes sense because around this time, Dumbledore supplied his feathers to be the core of wands for Voldemort and Harry. Also, if a phoenix is used to create the Philosopher's Stone, that could be what Grindelwald is after during the film.
We do know that he is obsessed with the Deathly Hallows, and just look how similar the symbol for the Philosopher's Stone is.
Sorcerers!
It worked. But no, this time we are actually talking about the symbol for the actual Philosopher's Stone, like from the world that we live in, which was actually also supposedly invented by a guy named Nicolas Flamel.
Yes, if you didn't know that, Nicolas Flamel was a person in the real world, and J.K. Rowling based the character off of him.
So here is my thinking. A phoenix, potentially even Fawkes specifically, has something to do with the creation of the Sorcerer's Stone. It even says in the actual Fantastic Beasts textbook,
the Phoenix gains an XXXX rating, not because it's aggressive, but because very few wizards have ever succeeded in domesticating it. We know of Dumbledore, a New Zealand Quidditch team who has a mascot called Sparky, according to Quidditch throughout the ages, and potentially Nicolas Flamel, who used it in making the Philosopher's Stone.
Sorcerer's Stone, but...
So we kind of discussed two topics today, and for the question of the day, we're going to go back to the first one. How do you think Hogwarts would travel to a tri-wizard tournament? Like, you have Beauxbaton with their horses on carriages, and you have Durmstrang with their, like, ginormous ship. What would Hogwarts do?
Personally, I think they would, like, bewitch the train somehow.
That would be really cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Scythe level is high.
But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, we'd love to give a huge thanks to Seamus Gorman for coming and hanging out and talking Harry Potter with us all week.
Thank you for having me.
So much
Yeah,
fun, so much fun. If you'd like to go check out his channel, you can click like right here in his Superman spot and you can see all sorts of cool Pixar and Harry Potter theories. Also, if you'd like to have the Goblet of Fire explained, you can click probably somewhere right in here. But Jay, that is all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.